Hey, cats. Weekend Musings of a Joe Schmo edition here. We're going to touch on bedriddens with Biddens, of course. Facebook censorship collusion with the Biddens. We're going to cover Desantis telling woke to, bounce out of Florida as usual. And the World Economic Forum and old Klaus's wanting to plot on you. All right? So, you know the deal. You want to hear it? There you go.
She's steady asking me if my soul is safe. Yeah, it's in the deep freezer, it's gonna stay that way. I don't give a fuck if you're mad, you can die mad. I don't give a fuck.
Pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
Are you threatening me?
Hey, savages, welcome in. Like I said, weekend musings of a Joe Schmo. I'll be your host here. Ryan, Joe Schmo, Liberty Swine, the Swine, D-Bag, whatever you want to say. All right, here we go. We're going to touch on old bedriddens first, right? So a new bunch of documents have been found in the bedriddens family home. And the total of that was 5 more documents with classified headings, which brings the total apparently to over 24. All right? And again, he was only a vice president, didn't have declassification powers, and apparently some of these documents are at a security level that he didn't even have clearance to read as the vice president. You know what I mean? We're talking strictly the Joint Chiefs and the president. All right. So you remember when Mar-a-Lago, the old Trumpsicles family home, was raided, and not only did they go through Melania's underwear drawer, but they laid out the they had to lay it all out for photo ops. So they had to make a big show of it, including magazine covers and photos and whatnot, just to make it seem like an extensive amount of materials. Okay, and where's the Biddens photo ops? Where's the leaks of these photos? And damn sure no one's going through Dr. Alice Cooper Biddens' fucking underwear drawer, right? But anyway, this is an obvious sham. It's an inside job. The DNC is throwing Biddens under the bus, I'm sure, for a roundabout way to exclude Trump, but also to it's 2 birds with 1 stone. They get instead of having a rotting carcass, posted up at a mic, now they're going to have a chance to install Camel, possibly get her, in their eyes, get her reelected. Or, run Dracula Newsom, I suppose. Maybe old Booty Judge, right? Greatest transportation secretary in the history of the position. As everything's fucked. But anyway, the MSM still trying to cover for bedriddens, of course. I'm going to leave you with a little clip of that, and then we'll move on. All right, smell this.
Start with President Biden's lawyers finding a small number of classified documents during his time as vice president in his former private office.
Joe Biden left a handful of classified documents from when he was vice president in his private office.
If you listen to Republicans or conservative media, they want you to believe it's on par with Donald Trump carting off boxes of classified documents.
Now, Republicans have seized on the revelations, but to be clear, there are distinctions between what we know about this and Donald Trump's hoarding of secret records at Mar-a-Lago.
Obviously, vast differences there.
There are key differences.
There's a big difference here.
There are many differences. One of these things is not like the other. Are we right to draw a very, very broad distinction between what is happening in the Biden case and what happened in the Trump case?
Totally irresponsible.
Absolute hypocrisy, right? There's a full video there. You can see the space next to it. It was like a comparison of, the Trumpsicles, to the Biden's reaction, which you can catch on Breitbart. I didn't want to play the full thing here because it's like, it's like 2 minutes or something. So, and I know people don't like the long clips. All right. So moving on, apparently, old Spacebook having a little problem as far as a Twitter-style leak coming out, I guess. An email chain between the names of the employees have been redacted, but from Facebook to the bedridden's fucking admin, where they agreed to censor true information to protect the admin's talking points, especially concerning C-1984, right? And it's the government's reaction to it with the SAWAS, you know what I'm saying? And we're talking about people's personal, accounts, experiences, and first-hand accounts of other people's experiences, which again were found to be true, but were censored anyway to protect the bedriddens and old Faucisms, I would imagine. But in the email, it says that these posts are allowed at the personal post level, because it's important for it to appear to have, to be able to have conversations and speak on one's anecdotal experiences and debate ideas, right? But on the back end, in the same email, but we will remove groups, pages, and accounts that disproportionately push sensationalized information, not misinformation or disinformation. Information, right? Especially pertaining to any type of hesitancy. Okay? So, this is just proof solid that everything that you've seen leaked from Twitter is also happening across all major fucking tech media. You know what I'm saying? It's regardless of what it is, if you're not on Minds, Gab, BitChute, somewhat Rumble, it's not happening for you, man. You're the furthest thing from any type of freedom of speech there is. All right, moving on. Oh, Ron DeSantis, regardless if you agree with him, disagree with him, like him, and yes, I know about the anti-Semitic speech laws, all right, and the red flag laws, okay? But ultimately, he is one of the best governors in the country. Hands down, okay? And now he's got a new adversary in Florida, which I'm sure you're well aware. Florida has two major hockey teams. That be the Lightning and the Panthers. The Lightning being, a mammoth of a team, going to the Stanley Cup Finals 3 years in a row, winning it 2 of the 3. An absolute powerhouse of a team. But the NHL has been on this woke streak where they're all about diversity, inclusion, and fucking LGBTQA dinosaur sign plus tag minus whatever the fuck you want to add to it. All right. And they're running these ads that, DeSantis is describing as discriminatory. It's basically an ad to hire for the NHL in the area. And, it's you have to be 18 or older, identify as one or more of these things: female, black, Asian, Hispanic, Islander, LGBTQ, and or disabilities. All right? And, what a joke. It's hilarious that these companies think that their fans are enjoying the fact that they're destroying their products, man. Really. It doesn't matter what you do sexually. You've enjoyed hockey for being hockey. You've enjoyed football for being football. You've enjoyed baseball for being baseball. Now you want to completely fundamentally change it. For what purpose? You know what I'm saying? And then, you could say dollars for these larger entities like the NHL or whatnot. But, we're talking about a minuscule percentage of the population. You know what I mean? And then again, like DeSantis just said, that's discriminatory. We're hiring you for the NHL, but only if you check one of these boxes. Absolute heaps of shit. And it as always, it's diversity in everything but thought. All right, moving on. World Economic Forum, right? Meeting in Davos, all right? The lizard overlord conglomerate, all right, is underway here. And just before it started, they rolled out some new shit. They're rolling out their plan to tackle harmful online content. We're talking so much violence and terrorists. terrorist activities, right? But no, it's really about controlling, a vague term, misinformation. And that way they can label anything that you say that dissents from them or anything they don't approve of as mis or disinformation. And they can deperson you, old A. Jones style, right? And while I love the man, appreciate him, agree with a lot of he says, you almost can't even say his name on YouTube anymore. Basically without getting at minimum your video removed. You know what I mean? It's happened to me personally, with clips, mentions, what have you. All right. But, these people know that they're lizard overlords, and this comes just a short minute after it's leaked that they're the ones pressing for, let's discontinue the use of gas stoves. Basically because, gas stoves can't be shut off with a little switch. They have to come to your home and actually, physically shut off the gas. You know what I mean? It doesn't affect you when they're having power outages and rolling blackouts and, yada, yada. You're still going to be able to heat your home and eat. And they don't want that. They want you 100% dependent on their BS, man. All right. And regardless of what anyone likes to tell you, and come on, debate me, that includes you, old John Bay, that solar is not the fucking answer, man. All right. Unless you can afford a system like this, you're good for only when it's sunny or daytime hours only. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're still using the same shit that these people are telling you is killing the world. You know what I mean? It's just they want to be able to use it at their whim and at a higher level while you fucking starve and freeze, right? These people are flying around the world on jets, being escorted in motorcades. I mean, the list just keeps going. They live in these massive palatial homes, having multiple around the globe. I mean, all these people that are bitching about your carbon footprint, and you need to lose your stove, your cars, your home. They need 5,000 troops around them to protect them at all times because they know everything they're saying is just for their personal benefit and for the detriment of you. You know what I mean? To your detriment, man. They're trying to ground you into the dust while they enjoy all the perks of, capitalism and, being extremely wealthy. And it's a tale that's older than all of us. It's not a Republican versus Democrat. It's not a right versus left. It shouldn't be us versus us. It's us versus them, and them being the elites. All right. When you hear like old Kanye's on Tim and stuff asking, who are they though? Who are they though? It's the elites. That's exactly who it is. And at this point, you got old Lex Luthor himself, Klaus Schwab, trying to be the head of that. You know what I mean? And they're in there hanging out with Bill Gateses and, Gretchen Whitmer. And, I mean, the list just keeps going. Dracula Newsom. I mean, the worst kind of people in this country are involved in the WEF. Flat out. So, you know the deal. Argue with me, debate me, come on the show, tell me to fuck off. Smell you later.
We laid this cloth down in the forest next to a wolf. Dang it. You're a bad kitty, Wayne.